Okay, finally we connected. I see just one person, Sarah's there. Okay. Let me open. You cannot minimize. Okay. Let me share. And let me actually C++. And Control N, new one. And we'll save this file, save as, so I don't forget, March 25th. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me create a text file, put some numbers in it, and read from a file into the array. So let me go Notepad. There's Notepad. I'll put numbers in it. I don't know. Looks like I opened it twice. 55, 76, 83, 94, 81, 77, 68, 54, 39, 46. I'm trying to get the low scores here. 61, and 57. Let's say we have these scores. Let me save this file, save as, and you want to put them in the same folder. So I got to put them right next to my program. Go to my desktop, and where is C++ Spring 2026? Oh, right there. And I'm going to call these actually scores, this file, scores. It's a text file. Notice .txt. If you want to put that .txt, the machine is going to put that anyway for us. Save. Let's say I have these scores and I want the program, um, write a program to open this file, read the score from it, save them into array, do something with them, send them to another array, another file, I mean. I'll just play with it. Okay. So again, what I'm going to do here, we created an array, a file, and the file called uh, scores, was it? With an S, I think. Scores.txt. I'm going to create an array and read all the scores from the file. And maybe I'll calculate something with them. Who knows? Maybe I'll calculate the average. And if the average is less than 75, add 5 points to each one. No one can get more than 100. So I won't write it, but I'll keep that in mind. And maybe write the new scores to a different file. Write the new scores to a different file. That's plenty, you know. So that's my plan for today. So let's begin. Pound include. IO stream, input output. Pound include, since you're going to read and write from a file and to the file, you have to use fstream, include fstream. Using namespace std, int main, where's my parentheses? Here we go. Curly bracket to open it, curly bracket, and return 0. Save it. It's not comfy there. I'm leaning over to type. Okay. How many names do I have in that file? I forgot, I mean, the numbers, I forgot to count them. Let me just go back and look at the file. So let me go back to my desktop, yep. And let me look at spring 2026. And my file should be here. It's called scores right there. Oh, is that it? Yep, it is. Scores. And let's see how many values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 scores in it. 12 students, 12 scores. Good. So let me, constant, that's the size here, constant, int, size equals 12. This way I can't change the size of the file. We're going to read the numbers. All the numbers I typed in there were integer numbers. So int, we'll call them numbers. And that's size of what? How big? Whatever the size is, which is 12. So that creates a block now, 12 locations. They're all going to be integer values in them. Now I'll count. You know what? I'm going to count them. Int count. That's going to count as we do the scores, so we know how many scores we read there. Count, and set the count equals to 0. So I'm going to read the scores from the file. Well, if I'm going to read the scores from the file, first I need to open the file. Open file. Let's give it a name. Here we go. Input file. Dot open. And what are we going to call it here? Nums. Nums.txt. Well, actually, my file name is now is called, what is it, scores? What did we call it? Was it scores? Yeah, dot text. Yep. The one thing I forgot to do is what? IF stream for input file. IF stream, one word, not two. And input file. So I'm calling input file. I can call it anything. That's a lot of writing there, but that's okay. Input file. And it says open the file and this file. So in this program, we refer to as input file, but really input file is this program. I mean, is this file, scores.txt. Codes and so now we're going to read the numbers from the file. Read from file. While I'm going to do while instead of the do while. I'll use the while statement. While what? I set my count to 0. While count is less than the size, which is 12 here. While count is less than the size, so what do you want to do? I'll do a couple of things here. Here we go, curly bracket. I want you to read the values. So from the file, input file, and put them, what did I call? I call my array numbers, numbers count. So the first value you're going to read is going to go in numbers 0. The second one is going to go in numbers 1, numbers 2, and increment count, count plus plus, incremented by 1. So you inside this loop, as long as the count is less than the size, you're going to read all the numbers. Take them from the file, put them into the array. And when you're done with that, usually you want to close the file, but the software actually forgive you if you forget to do that. So here we go, close the file, close file. So input file, I'm going to close it. I'm done with it. I read all the values. Dot close. Close the file. So I'm done with it. And if you want to show the file, let's make sure it's working. So let's do this section here. We'll call it what? Display the numbers. Let's see if it's working, because I want to know if it's working. For count equals to 0. Count is less than the size. Count plus plus. Cout. You want to put them one next to the other, or you want to put them one after the other? On different lines or next to each other? Okay, so let's count. Here we go. What are we going to write? What did I call my array? Numbers. Numbers. Numbers, not bumpers. Numbers count. And location 0. If you want to put them next to each other, then after you finish with that, go and put color spaces there between them. And when you finish writing them, go to the next line, C out and L. And that will move the cursor to the next line. But all the numbers will be next to each other. There'll be less space there. Otherwise, they're going to go on top of each other. Let's see if that works, actually. Does it open the file and read the values and print them? While count is less than a size, I think I might use capital S. Yep. Any other place, the size, let's see. Will tell me if there's another mistake. And there are the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 numbers. So it did actually go through it. We opened the file. We read the numbers from the file, put them into the array, and we asked the machine to print the array. And we can see it. Now, what I'm going to do here is I want to check the average and see what the average is. So let me define sum here, double sum equal to 0, and also average, AVG, calculate the average. I'm not giving the average any number because I'm going to divide anyway to find the average. So what I'm going to do as I'm reading the scores here, as I'm reading the scores from the file, I'm going to add them to the sum. Sum equals sum plus numbers count. So keep adding them. And you don't want to calculate the average here. You want to calculate the average when you have all the scores added. So right here, average equals the sum divided by the size. How many students do we have there? That will get the average. Now, this is actually working fine. So after that, let's actually check and see if average is less than 75. If yes, add 5 points to each. To each. So let's see. Calculate. We know the average. Check to see if the average, oh, I used lowercase when I did it, is less than 75. Then if it is, what do you want to do? Curly bracket. You want average, I mean, not average. You want, what did I call numbers? The file that has the numbers. If average is less than 75, do a loop here for int k equals to 0. K is less than the size. K plus plus. Actually, I'm only doing one statement here, so I don't need that curly bracket. I'll need it somewhere else. So if the average, then go to this statement. Well, this is a loop here. That's fine. What do you want to do here? Now this one's going to multiple things. So what do you want to do? You want the array, which is numbers, in location K to equal whatever you have in location K plus 5 points. Whatever you have there, location 0, add 5 points. Whatever in location 1, add 5 points to it. Whatever in location 2, add 5 points to it. As I said, I want to make sure nobody gets above 100. So here we go. If the new number now, if numbers in location K is greater than 100, then what do you want to do? You want to make that numbers in location K equals 100. So add 5 points to each one. Check to see if that person has a score above 100. If it is, then make it a 100. Then grab the next person, then the next person, then the next person, till you're done with them. And now, let me actually send the new one to a file. So there we go. Save the new scores to a file. So this file is going to be used for output. So I should use offstream and give it a name. I'm going to call it output file. That's what I'm calling this the output file. And now I got to open it. So this is the nickname for it. So let's open the file. To open it, we're going to tell the machine that output file, so I called it output file, dot open. And if I have a name, I don't have to ask what's the name and all that. If I know what I'm saving it to, so maybe I'm going to call this CSC 10, I forgot to put the quotation here. CSC 101 dash, or just plenty here, dot text. If I know that's the name. So I'm going to have a file called CSC 101 text when I finish running this. So that's just to create the file. Let's write the new scores to the file. They might not be new, because if the average is above 75, nobody's getting any extra points. So it's going to write the same thing, but let's assume it's going to be above that. So to write them, I just need a loop for int. I can use any variable, j equals to 0. J is less than the size. J plus plus, that's my loop. I want to tell him to write the stuff to the output file. Here we go, output file. Output file. And we're going to write numbers, square bracket J. Hate when I do that. And that should write, you want them one after the other? Because the other one, we had them one after the other in the other file. So maybe I'll do them that way. Go to the next line, end L. So there'll be one after the other instead of one next to each other. Close the file. Close output file. So output file dot close parentheses, parentheses, semicolon. That will close the file. You want to show the file? I can steal this from here because I wrote that. Where is it? I could have made that a function. Display the numbers. Here we go. Copy. And show me the numbers now. Control V. Oh, okay. Oh, see out. Let's see if any syntax error there. If numbers is greater than 100, probably needs parentheses. It lacks the condition. Oh, if numbers greater than 100, let's see. Oh, and what? It might be capital K here instead of lowercase k. Oh, you know what? I didn't make them print them on a separate lines. I had them print on the same line. But notice each one added 5 points to it. 76 became 81, 83 becomes 88, 94 becomes 99. Let's go put a score, change one of the scores there. So if you want to put them on separate lines here, you can't put them on separate lines. Just use end L here. Go to the next line, go to the next line. So put them on separate lines if that's what you want to do. Because right now, if I show you the file there, because I copied and pasted, okay, save it. Let's see, where's my file here? Let's change one of the scores in the file. Desktop, where is C++ Spring 2026? Is this 2026? I think that's 2026. Nope, that's 2025. Where's Spring 2025? 2024. Right there. I guess I didn't see it. There we go. There's my CSC 101. And there's the scores. So I did actually save them there, but I'll print them. So I saved them the correct way. But let me actually take one of the values and make it a 98. Where's numbers? Or scores, whatever it's the file called. scores. And let's make one of these, instead of 94, let's make it a 97 and save this one. Let me go back to my program. Oh, down here it's opened. I was looking for it. So this one here, when you print them on the screen, when I send them to the file, it's going to be one after the other. But when I print them on the screen, I'm just going to go with this, couple of spaces between them. That's fine. Then when you finish print them all, C out, End L. New line. I did print them one after the other, right here to the file. Every time I printed a score to the file, I went to the next line. So it'll be stacked one on top of the other. But when I print them on the screen, because I want to show you. So let me save this one and run it. And notice somebody got a 97. And notice that 97 is no longer now 102. We check to see if it's above 100. Yes, make it 100. So now we learn how to read from a file, write to a file again, take the values, put them into the array, take them from the array, send them to another file. You treat them just like anything else, except when you refer to that array, you can't say numbers. You have to say numbers in which location. Location 5, location 7, location 6, which one? So that's why I put square bracket and I go location J. J is 0 the first time. So location 0 the first time. Location 1 the second time. Location 2 the next time. And it goes on. Okay. I said last class I'm going to do something with arrays. And I don't know if I said with files and arrays. So you get to see them with files and arrays there. So you get to read from a file and write to a file. Any questions? You got like 3-4 minutes left to see if any questions, anyone? If nothing, enjoy the weekend. I'll see you next week. 2D array next week, 2-dimensional arrays. We're only moving in one dimension now. We're going left and right or up and down. And next week we can go both direction, up and down, left and right. I like this picture.